Hillary Clinton has released her 2015 tax return.
She and Bill Clinton paid a combined tax rate of 43% on their income. We have the latest in-depth team coverage now, live from CBS News at 9:31.
CBS News special report just released Hillary and Bill Clinton's tax returns.
Together, they pulled in $10.75 million in total income compared to 2014, which was $28.3 million.
CBS News senior political editor Steve Chigaris.
They are not making nearly as much money as they were making in previous years. I think part of that is she had to cut out her speaking engagements after she started running for president mid-year last year.
And the Clintons' federal tax rate, 34.2%. They donated 9% of their money to charity. Donald Trump is yet to release his returns. He says there's an audit going on. New Wall Street Journal NBC News Marist polling of registered voters has Clinton ahead of Trump by double digits in Virginia and Colorado, and with leads in Florida and North Carolina. CBS's Dean Reynolds says Trump stumps in a key state.
Pennsylvania is exactly the kind of state with exactly the kind of voters to which Donald Trump has been appealing since he began this campaign.
CBS News special report. I'm Steve Kaine.
Joining us now is political analyst Bill Whalen from the Hoover Institution at Stanford. Bill, good morning to you. So you heard there, Donald Trump continues to not reveal his tax returns, says because of the audit. His critics say he's hiding behind the audit.
Well, that's what his critics say. Look, I've looked at all sorts of issues that drive this campaign and what's on voters' minds, and I can tell you that tax returns are just not an issue. It's more of a media concern than a voter's concern. But having said that, there's something important to note here. By releasing her tax returns today, this is yet another day that Hillary Clinton is playing offense and Donald Trump will be forced to play defense. And that's not the way this should be working for Trump. She is, in essence, the incumbent in this election as she's running as an extension of the Obama presidency. As a challenger, he should be forcing her every day, making this a referendum on her and not him. By her doing things like this, she makes the election a referendum on him, and it's pretty simple to say that whoever this election is a referendum on, that person will lose.
Well, and that's sort of the reality of what he has been confronted with in his own campaign, as you would probably note over the last couple of weeks, and certainly this week. Every time that there is an opportunity for him to take the offensive, he does something that puts him back onto the defensive.
Yeah, and that really is, and that's really what's to note here. Look, the tax return thing is, it's a problem for him. Don't get me wrong. At a point, it does look like you're hiding something, and I'm not a tax attorney. Maybe he does have a legitimate defense in saying that he shouldn't release them while it's being audited. But that said, it does look suspicious. But the bigger problem here is exactly what you alluded to, in that he has this unique talent for taking. For snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, where she does something that presents an opportunity, and within the next 24 to 48 hours, he is committing some unforced error, some gaffe that changes this conversation. And there are only 87 days left until this election. That's about 2,000 hours. And the only way that Trump is going to win this thing, you just heard those polls that show things are pretty bad for him in certain important states. The only way he's going to turn this around if he can stay on message and drive the campaign at her. And so far, he's just shown he is not capable of doing that.
We'll see if he can turn it around. Bill Whalen at the Hoover Institution at Stanford.